What video did I talk about these in?
I don't remember.
Me neither. But a lot of people thought I was talking about these. And I wasn't. We'll talk about those a little while from now. These though, I had to buy 2 pairs of these just to get one decent one. That's not cool, man. Thank goodness for Nike's return policy though, because I get to return the bad one. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look at some really cool brand new colorways for the Air Jordan 2 Low. But just real quick, the box and packaging I think is awesome. I think it's exceptional. It ties into each of the colorways. There's 3 total. There is a brown one, which I did not pick up, and those were for Detroit, which is cool. We've got this one right over here, which is this guy, and these were for the Philippines. Jordan 2 OG style box, which is what the coming retro is going to look like and everything. So I like that they've kind of like mimicked that look with the Wings logo, but they've kind of made the box a little bit more special. And on top of that, the paper inside does tell the story as well. So this is the Shelf Life one, so this is for South Africa. And then this one was for the Titan collab over in the Philippines and everything. Now, each of these colorways has a very specific story to tell within the colorway themselves. All the blogs have that information, which is accurate because it comes directly from the Jordan brand. So out of the 3 colorways, these obviously are my favorite 2. First, I'm gonna talk about the Shelf Life ones. That outsole is pretty, man. Like, I don't even love when they have like a clear outsole when they're not supposed to and stuff. It's never something that bothers me, but it's not something that I need. But this clear bottom looks really pretty, man. It's like milky and stuff. It looks really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Something that is interesting though is that all of the tech specs of this particular Air Jordan 2 is all remastered, even though they don't say that term anymore. So these guys have been made damn near identically to the original Air Jordan 2 and Air Jordan 2 Lows from way back in the 80s, between 1986 and 1987. And they list that in this magazine. It's awesome. But anyways, the tech specs include a polyurethane midsole. This is on both pairs, by the way. And something that I find really interesting is that this portion right here at the bottom of the sole is part of the polyurethane. So that's actually like coming out of the rubber. It's not rubber itself. It does have an OG feature, which is the size of the shoe right there. So every pair is going to be a little bit different, or every size is going to be different, not every pair.
Well, manufacturing.
Per size. Because like all the 9s say 9, so none of the 9s look different. They just look different than the 9.5s and the 10s.
I just meant quality control.
Quality control on these were awful. That's the thing that like I think is the most disheartening, but don't get me started yet. I got to save up and like work up to that. Now inside the polyurethane midsole is an encapsulated heel air unit. That's a big change compared to all of the previous retros that we've seen of the Air Jordan 2 so far. So while these tech specs, again, are more like the 1986 and 87 original, a lot of the retros actually have this, which is awesome. So if you were going to change something, make it better, and that's exactly what they did. So this is what the previous retro releases do feature, but starting in 2022, again, it's a remastered, or a, I don't know what the hell they even want to call it, but basically it's OG tech specs, and that's just what it is. Now the overall shape is, again, very close to the original. These are both a little bit different in shape, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if that's because of the materials used and stuff, because these ones are really funky, but this toe is fucking pretty, man. So this version of the Air Jordan 2 Retro is from 2014, and yeah, big difference.
Big, huge.
This is like a boot, and this is like a sneaker or a dress shoe. That's what these really remind me of. Like if we're gonna talk about like quality and stuff, the materials on all of these are just fantastic. They're not super premium or anything, but when we're talking about Jordan brand products, I mean, when they do this, it feels premium. This pair right here has a really nice thin cut of leather as the toe rand. The back quarter panel is very reminiscent to the original, which would be a lizard or faux lizard print. They do add the piping, which is not an original feature, but they've been on so many of these retros, and personally, this is the way that I prefer the shoe to look. I know it's not an original thing, but hey, it's the way that I've always seen the shoe, so that's the way I like it. But then the suede that they use on the main body of the build, like, this is awesome. And it's a great color too. Like, this is a clean shoe, man. You know what I mean? Like, they did a great job. Even the tongue is nice leather and suede. It's awesome. The tongue actually is a little different too. They put the Wings logo on the outside instead of tucking it underneath the top panel. It looks really dope. Behind the tongue has more storytelling elements, so they're each a little bit different and everything like that. They're specific to the collab and all of that, which I think is awesome. They also come with a little keychain or hang tag. This is really interesting because it says Air Jordan Flight Club, which is an original thing back in the 80s where shoes would come with a postcard card that you would fill out your information and send it over to, I assume Beaverton. I don't know. I never had an original card though. But you would send that over with what I assume would be a payment, and you would be able to join the flight club. Both shoes come with the Dream Cell black polyurethane insoles as well. They don't come with the white ones, unfortunately, but one of the upcoming ones does, so that's always a plus. Now this pair right here is the one that I had to buy twice, which is very unfortunate. This is my favorite pair of the bunch. It's the Titan pair. This one is actually listed in women's sizes, so if you were interested, make sure that you pay attention. This is a men's size 9, but on there it's listed as a women's 10.5. But the outsole is pretty much the same. It just doesn't have all of the clear portions that the Shelf Life one does, but it does still have some translucent, which is featured right there as the gum rubber, which looks incredible. They also added splatter to the midsole. You guys already know, man, I'm a sucker for that. And then one of my favorite features is actually the toe rand, which is this corduroy stuff. It's so weird and out of place. I absolutely love it. The pebbled leather that is on the maiden body is not the nicest. That's where like this one right here, they really do like up the ante, it feels. So that could have been a little bit better, but the tongue has the same exact materials, and then the top of the tongue and the quarter panel is actually in suede. Really nice materials on top of that. These also do have the piping as well. And yeah, so this is the shoe though that there was a huge manufacturing defect, and it looks like that it's present in every single pair. So my right shoe, this one is really not as noticeable, but there's a weird bulge right there. How would you describe that feeling? Like you're like on a giant rock? It just doesn't feel right. This is the one that was the worst. Like it's literally a bulge. Like shoes shouldn't do that, you know what I mean?
It's shaped like a boat.
Dude, it's awful. It really is shaped like a boat, like the bottom of the boat. And when you put them on, they're unwearable because of that. Like it's so uncomfortable, it's ridiculous. So for that to happen on a collab, it shouldn't have happened. For that to happen at all, shouldn't have happened. I do understand that it does happen. These are mass-produced products. We're talking about tens of thousands. We're not talking about small little runs of like 5 to 10,000. Like that. No, there's a lot of these things out there, and they are rushed to make them in order to make those deadlines. So yeah, so it's just one of those things where it's disappointing because again, they're already inconsistent in the way that they manufacture things, but when you got something like that where it's like, yo, like I had to literally buy 2 so I can be like, I'm gonna pick these ones and then send the other ones back, that's some bullshit, dude. It just is. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they both fit very true to size. They are snug. In the back here, there's a ton of padding. It's very nicely sculpted. So what I would recommend is going true to size or up half a size if you have a wide foot. Do not go down half a size. You will probably not be able to fit in there and you will regret it.
Are all the colorways listed as women sizing?
No, they're
just
not.
The one color?
Yes, good question. So just the Titan version is listed in women's sizing, so just be cognizant of that. The rest of them though are listed as men's shoes. They do make them in men's sizes, they just are listed as women's first. And with that being said, that pretty much takes care of it for these guys. I think, again, they did a great job on at least the looks of the shoes. The manufacturing is a different story. I got lucky with this one. I only got one and they came out nice, but this one, again, both pairs are not great. I'm just keeping the one that's the better of the two. So yeah, sound off below and let us know what you think about these down below in the comment section. What do you think about this? First off, which one?
I like both of them, but I like the cream one more.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why is that?
Probably because I could wear it with more things.
Yeah, this I don't wear anything that looks like this at all.
It reminds me of a hoodie I had back in high school.
That I think is what it is. It reminds me of 90s fashion. I just really like that, even though it has nothing to do with the concept of the shoe and everything. It just, corduroy is something that for me, it like triggers a weird memory, and I just love corduroy. I don't know why. But again, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. We will catch you on the next one. So until then, have a good one.